Moving on, we have Suren Sargsyan from Armenia, who is the co-founder of the International Law and Comparative Law Center, and as well as a former advisor to the Prime Minister. So please take it away, Suren.
Thank you. Actually, I'll try to be as brief, as short as possible, because we're out of time. But we have to mention that within the last 30 years, we have been witnessing huge changes in the history of the humanity. And if there were only 51 member states of the United Nations back in 1945, now we have 193, which means there are a lot of new players coming out. And so you have to deal with everything. You have to deal with everybody. And it's whether we like it or not, there are now three, actually, not two, but three actually economic projects in the Eurasian region. So one is the European Union, as we know, the other one is the Eurasian Economic Union, and the third one, as a new challenger or a new opportunity, is the Belt and Road Initiative. So I would like also actually to go from global to local things here. Some people are seeing here challenge for Russian interests, for European interests, etc. But I think there's a good way of cooperation, and I think there is a good sign of cooperation between Eurasian Economic Union, between European Union, and of course, Belt and Road Initiative by China. So you probably know that a few days ago, an agreement on trade and economic cooperation between the Eurasian Economic Commission and China was signed, which is a good opportunity for these two country and an organization to cooperate, which is a good thing. Actually, it creates new opportunities for the business and trade turnover between the Eurasian Economic Union and China in 2017 was about $100 billion US. At the same time, the export of the Eurasian Economic Union countries to China is 40%. And we know that the Eurasian Economic Union and the European Union are also in a good cooperation, not as two economic blocs, but also as you know that the Eurasian Economic Commission is quite actively working with Greece and Spain and other member states of the European Union. Actually, coming from these global things to local things, I would like to mention that Armenia in that regard could be a success story and a unique story, because Armenia is the only member state of the Eurasian Economic Union that signed EU-Armenia agreement a few months ago, actually in November, I think, November last year. And this is a good way to cooperate with the Eurasian Union and the European Union. So there is no contradiction here. If our partners in the European Union are saying that, okay, guys, you can sign this, and Russians, Kazakhs, Belarusians, and Kyrgyz colleagues are saying, okay, guys, you can sign this. This means there is a good way of cooperation with these two economic blocs. And coming to Belt and Road Initiative, I can say that Armenia is doing quite active work in that regard. We're sending a lot of Armenian students to China. We're doing Chinese studies. We have Chinese school opening in Armenia in 2 months. We have Confucius Center. It's a big think tank. It's a good institution, and a lot of people are interested in that institution. A lot of young students are going there. So we're also building a transportation corridor which can be very, very actively used as a part of Belt and Road Initiative. So I'm confident that there's a good way of cooperation between these economic blocs, and small countries like South Caucasus region countries, like other small countries, can benefit from cooperating with all these economic blocs, but not contradicting. Thank you. I was as short as possible.
Thank you very much, Suren.